All right, I'm going to start off by saying that I am not using ArcGIS Online, so please temper your expectations accordingly. Okay, Micah came up and did a great presentation on their land use and their growth out there. And many of the cities that have come up here and talked before me have also talked about their similar growth and the developments they're having. For us in the unincorporated county, it's a little bit different. So although we do have developments throughout the county, the cities are the primary drivers of those developments. So this presentation is a little more skewed toward our infrastructure coming from a public works standpoint. According to the latest data from the Census Bureau in 2018, we have 259,000 people employed in Sedgwick County. We have 76% of them, or about 197,000, that live and work in the county, and 24%, or about 62,000, that commute into the county for work. We also have about 40,000 residents who commute outside the county for work on a daily basis. Back in 2002, there was about 75% of Sedgwick County residents lived and worked within the Wampo region. Overland Park, Topeka, and Hutchinson were the largest out-of-region employment destinations. Jump forward to 2018 with the most recent data, and we're down to about 70% of the county working residents that work within the region. It's only in the last 10 years, really, that the job destinations really have changed. Kansas City is now a top 10 destination, as is Mays, and they replaced Valley Center and Goddard in the top 10 list. I do have to say, though, I do wonder how much of this is actual commute time or those who are working from home and claiming an address in Kansas City as their headquarters address or so when they answer census type questions. Overall, though, we still have just under 200,000 people, working county residents, traveling within the region to work. And as you can see through what we just talked about, there's significant commuting, not only locally, but regionally and beyond. A lot of people will credit Wichita for the largest employers out there, and I just thought I'd take the opportunity to note that Spirit AeroSystems, Textron, and McConnell are all in unincorporated Sedgwick County, and we have 3 of the 6 largest employers in the county. They total about 22,000 full-time employees. So with almost 525,000 residents in Sedgwick County and 259,000 working here, we get a lot of travel on our roads. In fact, Sedgwick County roads carry over 1.5 million vehicle miles per day. And that's based on actually 2018 data. That data is being updated right now, but that's our most recent as of 2018. We maintain 609 miles of road and 603 bridge structures. I will say that we maintain more bridge structures than any other jurisdiction in the state of Kansas, with the exception of KDOT themselves. County Public Works maintains over 14,500 traffic signs and object markers, as well as 32 traffic signals. So in our 2022-2026 CIP, we're planning on spending $52 million for road maintenance and $22 million for bridge repairs and maintenance. We have $23 million that supports enhancements to the infrastructure, $10 million that supports expansion, which is going to be, that's going to be really the Northwest Bypass right away that we're committing funds to. And we have $2 million committed for quality of place. That would be like bike paths, parks, spaces, that kind of infrastructure. Our recent projects that we have taken on are several bike path projects, actually multi-use path projects. We have recently completed these milestone multi-use pathways in southeastern Sedgwick County. Those would be projects that have connected the pathway system in Mulvane with Derby, and that was via multi-path, an off-road multi-pass use on Rock Road. My fancy GIS map, again, lower expectations. This path not only connects cyclists and pedestrians between the two cities, but also provides them direct access to the Derby's new dog and ballpark, Tokarski Park, which is located just north of 95th Street South along Rock Road. We also constructed a new multi-use path along Rock Road from McConnell Air Force Base to the Wichita city limits in Oak Knoll. And this connected pedestrians from base housing on the east side of Rock Road across the street from the base to local businesses up north along Rock Road and beyond. We also recently just finished our aviation pathway projects. These were started at Patriot Avenue and Buckner and Derby. We worked our way up to 47th Street, then headed west across K15 into the Oaklawn area. And then we connected down to the rec center and the school down off of Clifton, and also up to MacArthur Road in Wichita. This was constructed in 3 phases. It started in 2016. With its completion, the multi-vein pathway now connects all the way up to Wichita's. So we've talked about building down a Rock Road between Mulvane and Derby, and then Derby up to Wichita. So we've got Mulvane all the way down. Pedestrians and cyclists can travel from Mulvane up to Chapin Park in South Wichita without ever having to leave a dedicated multi-use path. We have some other projects that we have done related to the pedestrian access, and one of those projects was the Meridian pedestrian bridge, which you guys might remember back in 2019. That was actually a WAMPO project that was revived thanks to an opportunity with funding that presented itself. And that's a key bridge there. It's a pedestrian link between Hayesville and Wichita. And I'm also very proud to stand up here and tell you that in 2020, we received the Wichita Society of Professional Engineers Project of the Year for that particular project. As far as road projects, Sedgwick County has enjoyed a lot of really growth spurt of sorts in industrial parks that have, considerable development that's been going on. We recently completed improvements to 167th Street West and 61st Street North in Colwich to support the ICM Elements biofuels plant. In 2023 and 2024, we will make additional improvements to 151st Street West and the east side of 61st Street North to provide safer access to and from K96. Next year, we will be constructing the improvements on 95th Street South, adjacent to the Clearwater Business Park. And that's due to increased truck traffic related to the Plains Cotton Cooperative Association's baled cotton warehouse. They are already actually actively working that site now, and have, as far as I know, have plans to expand. We also have plans to reconstruct portions of 135th Street West and 53rd Street North near the Maze Industrial Park that will increase lane capacity and prepare for the increased heavy truck traffic on those roads. Additionally, Sedgwick County is partnering with KDOT and the City of Wichita, which I think everyone here is very much aware of, to construct improvements to the North Junction. 2 of the 4 projects for the North Junction are already under construction now, and the 3rd project is slated to begin actually next year. So that's moving along quite well. We continue partnering with KDOT, Goddard, and Maze to advance the Northwest Bypass project to the final design phases by funding right-of-way acquisition. That is actually the proposed layout that is out there in the planning stages for the Northwest Bypass. Sedgwick County and KDOT have committed up to $1 million each year for right-of-way, and that's with additional funding coming from Maze and Goddard as well. We've been improving pedestrian access in the southeast part of the county the past few years, but we do plan to also work with Wichita and Goddard to improve pedestrian access between these 2 cities. A multi-use path is planned along Maple Street between 167th, it's along Maple and 167th that will not only connect the Wichita and Goddard cities, but it will provide pedestrian access from the various neighborhoods in that area to the Eisenhower School Complex. That's there. That school complex is located on 167th south of Maple. And finally, we do have 3 bridge projects that are coming up. Our bike paths are not the only projects that improve regional connections. These upcoming projects ensure safe and efficient travel between our cities. 3 of our big ones are those that are shown here. And we have, we plan to reconstruct the 600-foot long bridge down by Clearwater over the Ninneskah, it's on 151st over the Ninneskah River in 2023. And then we have a 500-foot long bridge between Derby and Wichita on 63rd Street South over the Ark River. And that will get a much needed rehabilitation on that bridge in 2025. Our most notable bridge project for purposes of this discussion, and it's probably going to be our most watched project, is the planned bridge project that will rehabilitate the Zoo Boulevard Bridge or the Floodway in 2023. That again is a WAMPO project. This bridge is the main entry point into Wichita, northwest Wichita, and the work will affect over 25,000 vehicles a day. It will impact traffic on Zoo Boulevard, 13th Street, Ridge Road, 235 and 96. So I'm not going to tell you that all of our projects are regional connections and apply to that, but as you can see here, a lot of them do. We have, we're the underlying unit of government that really can justify supporting the needs of all the jurisdictions in the county. We recognize that all the taxpayers, whether they're in the incorporated cities or unincorporated county, they support county functions and operations. And we, in part, continuously return that support to projects like those we've just discussed right here. Most of the agencies that have already presented on the regional connections have noted how people migrate in and out of the city, a lot of them out of city for work. But the average person really doesn't recognize that Sedgwick County is providing that critical infrastructure that allows that commute. I thought this was very interesting. 20% of Hayesville commuters travel to Derby, Valley Center, Clearwater, and Rose Hill. 5% of Maze's commuters head to Valley Center, Derby, Goddard, and Park City. And we have a similar number of Goddard commuters that travel to Maze, Valley Center, Derby, and Park City. Put simply, we understand our role in the region, and with projects like those we just talked about here, that really it just ensures everyone is well served all throughout the county and the region. And I can't stress this enough. We're very fortunate at the county level to have elected officials, county commission that understands the role that infrastructure plays in this region, and they provide us the resources that allow us to serve this entire region all together. And if there are any questions, I will stand for those.
Thank you, Lynn. Any questions for Lynn? I don't see any right now, but just to toot our own horn a little bit, when he told us we had over 600 bridges and we were the #1 in the state of Kansas, what he didn't say is we're the #3 in the entire United States for the number of bridges that we maintain here in Sedgwick County. So that's kind of a stat that a lot of people don't recognize. Sedgwick County is pretty flat. They got a lot of little creeks and so forth, and rivers and such, and so we have a lot of bridges. The other thing that he didn't mention is that we provide a lot of opportunities for people if they want to bike or walk also. If you go over to Sedgwick County Park, we've got all kinds of trails over there that you can bike and walk on. And if you get real energetic while you're over there, you can just jump on to Zoo Boulevard, runs into 21st Street, and you can go all the way out to Cheney Lake because we widened 21st Street in order to be able to provide a bike path heading all the way out that direction. So we're That's beside all of the other paths that he talked about that we've already put in. And we're partnering with the city of Wichita in order to take a look at that Maple Street in order to be able to get folks, especially getting into the new schools over in Goddard, so that they can get into that area safely, because we don't have, we have kids that are actually walking down busy streets right now that we really truly need some paths over in that area. So I appreciate everything that our public works does, and I always have to make sure that I praise what they do, because they work very hard in order to take care of our county. So thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.